Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the second intro I'm making because I felt like the first one wasn't making sense. Because I missed you guys so much, but also because I haven't done this in a while. Maybe I've forgotten how to do it in the first place. This is the third time I'm doing the intro. Because the lighting is not as great as I would want it to be. But listen, I've been waiting all week to make this video, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make it. Because in light of everything going on in the world, just thought I should bring in a story time that, you know, might make you laugh or entertain you. I hope it does. If it doesn't, then it's alright. I'm sorry that it didn't entertain. Actually, I'm kind of not sorry because, you know what? Let's forget me and my weirdness, because I hope everyone is safe. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're okay. I hope you're social distancing, because always remember, it's not about you. It's about who you might infect. So stay at home, child, and watch Ellis IM's videos. Anywho. And don't forget to pray for those affected, health workers, and just people who can't afford to leave work, and just everybody who's heavily affected. If you're like me and you're a college kid and or you work from home and this hasn't affected you all that much, then you're at a pretty good place and should be thankful. And don't panic, don't fear. No pandemic has ever lasted forever, and neither will this too shall pass. And we're gonna be talking about it. Like, remember the year 2020 when we thought the world was gonna end, but it was really not gonna end, and we had a chance to actually find our life, get our life together, spend time with our families, spend time with our loved ones, and so many other things that may be the silver lining in all of this chaos. So just find the silver lining, whatever it may be. And that's enough. I should really get into the video, but I can't help but talk about what's going on, because I cannot just make a video and pretend, oh my gosh, there is no pandemic going on around the world, because it is day 4 of quarantine and I'm doing quite okay. And some of y'all it's a week, some of y'all it's been a month. For I don't know where you're watching this from, but I just wanted to make a video about basically the epitome of who I am. I am Eris, and now it's raining and noisy. Should I stop and continue later?
So you bagged him. I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet. Sassy, moody, nasty. Hacking, stupid, what's happening?
So it kind of stopped, and hopefully we can record this whole video without the rain coming back to like distract our talk. Clink clink, let's have a drink. If you watch them, then me and you can be friends. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's from a channel called Jess and Gabriel, 2 of the best humans in the world. Love them so much. Anywho, now, as I was saying, I am 23 years old and I've never had a boyfriend. There are a lot of reasons to that, but one of them being that your girl can relate to Lara Jean on a soul level. When that movie came out, the To All the Boys I've Loved Before movie came out, I could relate, because I've kept journals for as long, oh, that looks rough, for as long as I can remember. This is another one. Oh my god, why are all of them destroyed? I look like the worst keeper. Here's another one. I have like 10 of these. That's why the box was open at first. That's the box where I keep all my books, most of which are borrowed books that I should have returned a long time ago, but like your girl is actually forgetful and usually ends up forgetting to return the books that she should really return. And all my journals and some of my books from my old classes. And that's actually a tangent. Now getting back to the topic of today. I have had a couple crushes in the history of time. And whether these boys like me back and did have the balls to ask me, or the fact that they never liked me back, because sometimes, let's agree, he's just not into you. He's just not that into you, child. I don't know, but you guys get to be the judge of this. Now, let's go through my crushes. I'm going to start with when I was 16 years old, just because prior to that, like, I would like to say I had quite an active love life in primary. Oh my god, that is so wrong. Anyway, I had a couple crushes in primary who actually liked me back and give me all the attention in the world. I had a mobile phone by the time I was 12 and we were being sent dedications or whatever. And then Hurricane single sex school hit and I went to Marian Girls School by choice. I don't know why in the world I ever thought it would be a good idea for me to go to a single sex school, because now that I think about it, I'm like, child, why? why did you do that to yourself? Because I told my mom I want to go to a single-sex school where they're all girls. And it's just a world of estrogen and progesterone. I didn't even know what those were. By the time the 4 years were done, all that I could think about was I will never go to a single-sex school ever again. Period! It's just not realistic. It's estrogen all the time and progesterone. And if you didn't go to a biology class, those are female hormones that's just too much drama and too much I don't regret going to the school in particular just because I learned a lot of stuff, but none of my children are ever going to a single-sex school, especially if it's boarding school, especially if it has as bad an environment as the one that I went to, though it was quite a good spiritual and academical school. Like, I learned a lot academically and I learned a lot spiritually. I pretty much grew up there. So, yeah. Anyhow, now, starting off, when I was 16, over the course of my life, I've watched a lot of telenovelas and I have watched a lot of movie Filipino teleseries, Filipino series, and while some people like to attack them and say how unrealistic they are and and perhaps they're right, no perhaps, they're definitely right, things are so much more smooth in movies, but also things are so much more tragic in movies. Like, it's always like some dude whose whole family is just against this girl, and like, I know this happens in real life too, but like, it's always so rough. Like, bruh, have you watched these movies? Like, some guy's uncle tries to kill this girl, but like, this guy still holds on to her. And so for me, what I got out of the movies, including like even the like Hollywood, like Vampire Diaries. I used to be so obsessed with Vampire Diaries in high school. And what else? I can't think of any other series that I was obsessed with in ordinary level secondary school, because I didn't watch as many series. I watched a lot more movies than series, but I remember being so in love with Vampire Diaries, and Stefan and Elena were it for me. Do not come at me, all you Delena fans. What was wrong with you? Anywho, mainly being, for me, it meant love is this strong, solid thing. Like, bruh, if you like me or you love me, you're gonna go through hell and high waters to get me. Plus, we always thought we were kind of special, which has really played out well as an adult. As a kid who had grown up in a house without a dad, I didn't grow up with my dad. My dad passed away when I was 40 days old. So again, I didn't have an example of a good man in my own household. All I did have was examples of a lot of I'm not gonna go into details because that's not my story to tell, but like growing up, the few adult parent-like relationships that I had seen were pretty trashy. I mean, bruh, I found an elderly man's phone, and this was an elderly man that I was close to. That was one of the people that I looked up to as a father figure, and I find texts from the side chicks. So I had an idea of how trashy men can be. And I truly did think that men are the trash for 4 years straight. And then when I was 16, no, I still thought men were trash. But I was in the middle of one side of my brain was thinking men are trash, they can ever come correct, they can ever be faithful, whatever. The other side of me, like, there are some guys who can be faithful, and there's a guy out there who's faithful and whatever, which is still my conviction to date, that in the middle of a lot of trash, there's gold. You know, there's gold in the soil. There's gold in the dirt. That's what I believe, because I still see a lot of trash. Anyhow, fellas, don't get mad. I'm not trashing you. I love you guys. You know. You know I got love for you, okay? Let's get into the actual video. Let's talk about these actual boys. At 16, I had this concept of like, I'm too young to be in a relationship. What do I need a boyfriend for? What I do need is a bunch of like guy friends, which is why, while I was not a fan of texting, at 16, after going through boarding school and I was on this long break, I decided that I'm going to get into as many group chats as possible and just interact with a bunch of boys, just like to see how the other, half of the world is living. Training again.
Ask you how you are, you just have to say say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because...
So let's start with the first receiver of these letters. Actually, no, let's start with the first would have been receiver of these. They're not exactly love letters, they're just interest. I was a journalist. What do you call people who journal? I don't know. But I wrote about them in my journals because it was pretty interesting. And I wrote everything by then. I still journal, but I don't write everything. So here's the thing. Here's what I wrote. Went to a birthday party, met this so. Anyway, so I escorted Anna. Not her real name, but I'm not gonna give away. I'm gonna use fake names and kind of fake places in this whole story, just so I do not expose myself too much, because I'm already exposing too much. If this backfires on me, well, if we die, we die. But here we are. We shall survive this emotional troll that I'm creating for myself. Anyway, so I escorted Anna to the changing room and she was leaving after that, so I told her to wait for me and we left together. Got in a Bajaj with another friend called John, who wasn't that cool. I'm still friends with John. He trolls me a lot. I wish I could mention your real name so that you could hear it. First, John, I thought you weren't that cool. Anyway, love you as my friend, and you're still a weirdo and you're still really horrible, because you troll me too much. When we got to Mwenge, so it turns out John was just part of a crew. There was a whole Boston Boys crew. Because I'm not going to mention the school because I just don't want to mention the school. So, Anna was talking to Sam as I finished putting on my drafted shirt. I was talking to some of the people in the crew as I finished putting on my drafted shirt. Then I looked at his face and remembered seeing him in FB, Facebook, the good Facebook days. And that he was a Justin Bieber hater. Which, dude, your girl was a hardcore believer. You want to get on my nerves? Talk about Justin. Like, best believe I'm gonna defend him hard as I'm defending my mama. You know how people would get about your mama jokes? Like, those were not jokes you could pull on me about my mama or about Justin. So I told him that. Then they started messing with me. And we argued, but it was all jokes and all. And turned out they are heading my way. And that they were going to Kimara, which is not exactly where I lived by then. I live in Kimara now, but that's not where I lived, which is where they lived. So they lived near where I used to live. Now these guys are Charlie and let's get the name for another. Falcon. No, Falcon. Oh, that's from, I should watch Dynasty. Let's call him Liam. Okay, no. I went to high school with Liam and we're actually good friends. So no, people are gonna get the wrong idea. What do we call him? Give me names, guys. Let me look for a name in here. Any Justin? Oh, we're gonna call him Justin. Oh, Honko, we're calling you Justin now. Anyhow, so now Justin actually turns out to like / love Queen was my best friend by then. And yeah, by now Queen knows. She always liked him too. And so now they're okay. I don't know what to call them, but then my best friend is off to school in like 5 days, so they don't have that much time left. Now, the other one. Charlie. Dun, 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 dun. Drum rolls. I wrote, I have a crush on Charlie after 4 years of no crush. Bruh. Next page. New feelings, new life. Moving out. We're moving out of the place that we're living in. Well, that's what's up. He's a Justin Bieber hater who actually knows his songs, so I kind of don't believe him. And at first we had so many fights, but they were actually fun. And I enjoyed them pretty much. And I like him. Yeah, I like him. The question is, does he like me? I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. Anyways, I'm enjoying the ride. Let's see where it takes me. My dude. So the following days we have a series of as a 16-year-old we texted back and forth, and the days that we didn't text I'll be like, is he mad at me, or like is something happening? Like, oh man, I'm so glad I don't text no more. Like, I'm just not a texter anymore. I am not the girl that will look at a message and like wait for someone to reply back, because listen, if you text me, I'm gonna call you if I like you enough. If I don't like you, you ain't gonna get a reply from me, and that's that. That sounds kind of mean. That's the true reason that I don't have a boyfriend. You know, you can click out of the video now. The video is done. Let's leave. So, anyway, a lot happened over the course of like, you know, a week or so. We kept meeting at different points because this was around the seasons where the Form 4s would keep interviewing for Form 5 exams. And so I was going to a couple schools to interview, and somehow we always met in these interviews. Now, scroll to like a week, 2 weeks later. I don't remember the last time I actually agreed to meet a guy. This is 7th March 2014. Oh yeah, that's right. Never. But this one was different. I actually liked this guy, and we hadn't chat for like 3 days. And so on. So on this day, it was like 5 p.m. going 6 p.m. and I was planning to bathe and just chill at home. And he's like, please come at the mall. And he like asked me 3 times. And I was going to say no, even though I wanted to meet him. But Anna was like, just go. For the record, she only did it because she wanted snacks. And she knew I'd be happy if I went. And so I did. Actually, for the record, that's what I wrote. And so I did. We went around the mall, took the movie timetable. Look at this uncle and look at this stupid auntie. This stupid auntie was just happy looking at the movie. Guys, remember when like movies timetables would be in flyers? I don't think they do that no more because everybody's now on IG and nobody care about physical copies. Or they do, I just don't know. Anyway, we took the movie flyers to the supermarket, and yeah, it was pretty fun. Actually, so much fun. And yeah, we had a Bajaj ride. Them good old normal days. Because, you know what, I'm not gonna go into details with that because we are different. But then the way my 22-year-old is set up now, if you don't got your life together in terms of transport, we ain't going for a date. And that makes me materialistic, and I'm okay with it. Anyway, back to my 16-year-old humble self. A Bajaj ride, by the way. So Justin met Jason. So I'm gonna name him Jason. This is the funny part. When I was out in the mall with this whoever, this is a tangent, but you know, let's just have this talk and have fun. So when I went to this when I went for this mall date, whatever it was, hangout, whatever we called it, in my heart it was date, in my head it was hangout, because we were trying to fight the feelings. Actually, we weren't trying to fight the feelings. I was pretty clear that I liked him. So yeah, it was a date in my heart. Anywho, so I met this Jason guy who for the next couple months, this Jason guy would not stop asking me out. But you know, upela umpati mwenye kucha. Haumpatagi. And yeah, when we got to my place and I was dropping off and like I have to pay half the price, and he's like, kiss or pay. And I mean, by the time he's saying that, he's on my face. First of all, we're sitting in the, you know, like we're cuddling in the Bajaj, like we're sitting next to each other, like we're doing something, like we're getting all cute or whatever. And now, he's like, kiss or pay. He's like literally on my face. And I'm like, neither. And homegirl gets out, runs out, and she's like, I don't know, but I would just like to thank my 16-year-old self for that moment, because that moment defined what was going to be my love life for the next, what has it been now, 6 years? And for as long as it takes, like, cause boy, ain't nobody trying to kiss you if you ain't come correct, cause I don't know you like that. And you might be like, oh, but you liked him and he liked you. Why you gotta act so tough? Why you gotta be so closed up? 8th March. So, yesterday I ended up, which is the next day. So, yesterday I ended up telling, what was the name I gave her? Anna, about the Charlie crash. And she helps me, God bless her. I don't know what she told Justin, who Justin was, Justin had been friends with, no, they're actually kind of related, whatever, with Anna for a while. Anyway, but she gave me feedback that Charlie is not a commitment guy. Right now, he's just playing. And I'm like, hallelujah, thank God I refused that kiss. Because as far as I'm concerned, And you know, the rest is blah blah blah. And this was March, but for the next like month or so, we kept meeting. No, we kept meeting like when we were hanging out with other people, but like because you know, as a 16-year-old, we pretty much had the same circle, so we'd meet in events or whatever, which was bittersweet because your girl still had feelings, although we had decided that obviously this is not gonna go anywhere. And after I refused that kiss, he probably thought she probably doesn't like me like that, so we kept talking off and on. And I don't know, probably like 2 weeks later, if I look for it, I'll probably find it. I think it's like 2 weeks later, he dated my friend. No. Month, maybe? Yeah, no, probably weeks. Anyway, he dated another girl who was my friend. Who, by the way my Ellis is set up, I start talking to people and treat them like friends. Even with him, though we flirted a lot, but we're still like on a friends basis. So even after that, we kept being friends, we kept talking. So even when he started dating one of the girls that I knew that was friends with me, he starts telling me about her and how she's doing this and that and his relationship and how he's not happy in it. And I'm like, but oh, you know the good old days where Facebook reads like, you know, in a relationship and the girls was in a relationship and the guys was not, and just a lot of complicated situations. But like, anywho, he ends up start to tell me about his girl's problems, and I'm like, Uncle, first of all, we ain't done with them feelings, and now you telling about your whole life story. Ended up becoming very good friends, but nothing else happened. So that was the first boy. Charlie, congratulations, boy. You played yourself because you missed out on a good thing. This whole video is just gonna be me laughing at things that aren't funny. My knee's pretty ugly, like Megan Thee Stallion, help that girl. Ooh. Before I go to the next boy, so this is what I'm trying to tell you. If a boy has not come correct and has not, the reason that I didn't kiss him back was in my heart of hearts, I'd settled because of, now at that point, because of the many movies, now of course with much more matured reasons, but by then, every movie I ever watched, like the guy would actually like, you know, come correct, say I love you, blah, blah, blah. So for me, it was always, if you try to kiss me before the I love you, it's just not gonna happen. I know different values, you probably are like, you know, if I like you, I'm gonna kiss you or whatever. But for me, it was like, it's more than that. Like, a kiss is not that important to me. So, okay, no, I mean, a kiss is important to me. So you're not gonna get access to my body before getting access to my feelings or my heart or whatever. And I hope you get what I'm trying to say, dear 16-year-old watching this, 14-year-old. Them boys are stupid. They don't got a brain. The boys are led by their hormones. Maybe they don't even like you like that. Maybe they do. But if they don't have the balls to actually come correct and actually like, you know, pursue you in like a proper way and actually like respect you and love you and care for you and have only you, because best believe, I am fully convinced that Charlie was talking to about 10 other girls by the time that we were flirting back and forth, and I was like, you know, maybe we could like, we could have something here, like, you know, asking me to come out and whatever. Like, I was like, you know, we could have something going on here, but we did not. And before you get yourself into a heartbreak, avoid them situationships. Like, me going away from that kiss is what stopped every single thing that could have happened afterwards, the heartbreak that could have come afterwards. Because girl, you saw girl was into it. Your girl was just into it, like she liked him hardcore. Now, should I go to boy number 2 or should I end this video here and continue it next time? I am already like 15 minutes in, so I'm thinking this might be too long. So what I'm gonna do is, since we're under quarantine and we don't have school, usually I make these videos like a compilation and like post them once a week. But maybe we can do more sit downs next time. But for now, that's boy number 1. So stay tuned to my channel for boy number 2 and boy number 3 and boy number 4 and boy number 5 and probably boy number 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. Listen, when Lara Jean made a list, she was 16. I don't know. How old is Lara Jean? I don't know. But I'm 22, so my list is longer. It probably has like 10 boys. And you guys are gonna get to hear about that because what else are we doing with our lives? But with every boy comes a lesson, so I just want you to stay tuned for the boy stories and my embarrassment, and of course for the lessons too, if you at all want to learn or you want to be encouraged, or just to know like I'm not the only girl in the world, or just to understand why the boys keep playing you. Like, am I written play me by my face? No, your face is not written pay me, but your habits are written pay me, play me. And now I'm sweating like a goat because I switched up the fan to record this video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and like, comment, subscribe, comment on any other videos that you want to see, because your girl has time now and she's going to be filming a lot of videos. And see you in my next videos. I love you guys so much, and dudes and dudettes. See ya.